Well, at my age, of course, I think it's for the worst. I'm sorry. Well, I've always liked classical music. I used to like bands like Glenn Miller, and I'm going back into wartime now. Too crowded. We're such a small island, we just can't cope. I feel now sometimes like I'm in a foreign land. If I go into Burnley, it seems rather alien to me now. Well, it was just people who were probably famous in sport or could really sing. You get people who've no talent, not very bright, and people seem to worship them, and I don't understand. The caricatures of people, they're not real, stupid. And they're all painted. I've never seen so many people with painted faces. 14. It was easy to get a job. I started when I was 16. Oh, that's funny. I started at 10 shillings, old money, 50 pence a week. Oh, dear me. There's far too much cleavage about, and far too many thighs. People who have huge thighs shouldn't show them. Oh, dear me. We've become, what irritates me most is we've adopted all the Americanisms. Yeah. And I think that's deplorable. Well, high five.
Yeah.
And oh, there's so many. I didn't realise until I started making a list how many there were. Yeah. It's absolutely outrageous how people adopt and calling everybody guys, whether they're male or female. Come on, guys. And one of the worst things that I find dreadful about American things, we seem to have adopted their, what do they call it? You know, when you leave college, what do they call it, that?
Graduation?
No.
Prom?
Yes, that's the most outrageous, stupid thing there is. All it means is you cost a load of money that people can't afford, and they get dressed up and they look ridiculous. Well, it's a shame really, because you've to learn to discipline yourself to start with. And people just seem to do whatever they want, whether it's right or not, or whether it's hurting other people or not. It was quite common to get a clout if you didn't do as you were told. Yeah. And I often did. I deserved it. Usually the mother gave you the clouts.
Oh.
Your fathers were, you know, especially being a girl. I notice that wherever I go now that I'm surrounded by old people like me. Because people are a lot fitter than they used to be. Mm. Although the sad part is that there's a trouble with dementia, isn't there? Yeah. Which is rather sad. Yeah. And it's one thing that I try to guard against. I don't know, I just... I make sure I eat the right things. Yeah. I try to move about, even though I'm 90. You know, I've always been a fast mover, but unfortunately, I tend to go like that when I shouldn't at my age, and I fall sometimes. But I'm very lucky. They'll not be able to write soon. They can't spell. And internet. What's all this Facebook where everybody knows your business? I don't understand it. Mm. There's the things you don't tell people. Oh, it's terrible, because one of my pet things is punishment doesn't fit the crime. Yeah. And I'd certainly bring back hanging. These people should be punished for what they do. If they do something really bad, the same thing should be done to them so they realise what it's like. No, it's a natural thing. It's progression, isn't it? No, I don't see anything wrong with it if it's used properly. But the trouble, it gets out of hand. The politicians are all corrupt. They're in it for what they can get themselves. And they're disgusting. I can remember politicians caring about the people who voted for them, not anymore. When I go on a bus, I travel on buses, and I'm amazed how many young girls get on with prams, with children. They're not even married.
Children having children.
It's shocking. And they've no shame. It's just wrong. And I mean, if you can't afford to bring up your own children, you shouldn't have them. Well, people nowadays spend money they don't have, and it's rather sad. They live beyond their incomes because they're so busy copying these people on television who are neither talented, good-looking, or anything. Or moral. That's another thing that I don't like.
Right.
Why people's morals have changed. I feel quite strongly about that.